Welcome to Brainish English Stories.
To most people, it looked like a simple photo of a cheap summer hotel. But in Widow Morris's house, the photo was special. It was in a big fancy frame and hung above her fireplace. The rest of her house was plain. She often sat in front of the photo, wearing black clothes for mourning. She looked at it with love and said, "It looks just like him." The people in town thought she was a little strange, but they felt sorry for her. They believed that her sadness had confused her mind. She had received the photo by mail, months before the hotel burned down. She was not in the fire, but her husband had died in it. She told her friends at the post office. "That's where he works. He's the head steward. All those windows in the photo, those are his rooms. He's the boss of the cook in the storeroom. He always carries keys on his belt. No one gets food without his okay. He's strict, always was. People even joke and call him Street Point Peter because he guards the door like in heaven." One woman asked, "What key?" Because no man or key was seen in the picture. Mrs. Morris said quickly, "Oh, I don't mean in the photo. I mean in real life. He always wore the keys." He liked the joke. He said if a hotel is like heaven, then the kitchen is the most important part. No one knew how much the photo comforted Widow Morris. At first, she felt sad that her husband was not in the picture. But then she thought, if the photo was taken when he was inside, maybe he's still there. That idea made her happy. One rainy day, she looked at the windows in the photo and suddenly thought she saw her husband inside, closing the windows to keep out the rain. She was shocked and cried. For a moment, she felt he was still alive and would come home. But he didn't. Later, she thought she saw him again, waving from the window. She got scared and thought he was calling her to come. But then she saw he was just killing flies. Widow Morris believed he was still with her in the photo. She watched it every day, hoping to see him again. "I really think Morris will be the death of me," said Widow Morris. "He gives me as much trouble now as when he was alive. I was sure he would come and take me with him." Then she added quickly, "Of course, I'd rather go to him than take any trip in the world. But I never liked that hotel. Now that I see him in it so often, I believe that's where we'll stay. If there's life after death, then maybe that hotel is part of it." She had strange ideas about heaven. She believed the hotel, after burning in the fire, either went to heaven in smoke or fell to the other place in ashes. If it was good, maybe it was being fixed into a big mansion in heaven. But she thought it more likely that it went down because it had too many secret places and fancy sofas. While wiping the photo, she noticed her cat staring and hissing at it. "Yes, Kitty, maybe you see more than I do," she said. She put the ladder away and whispered, "If not for that cat, I might have enjoyed this picture more. The way she acts, I've started to hate it." A neighbor, Mrs. Withers, came in just then. Widow Morris continued, "You can guess who I mean. That pretty girl who worked at the hotel, the one who answered the phone. I never thought she died in the fire, too, until the cat showed me. The cat hated her when she was alive. One day, she hissed at the photo, just like before, and I looked up, and I saw that girl in the window, smiling and waving her fingers rudely at me. I thought, there's something going on in that hotel. It spoiled the picture for me. I thought maybe Morris was with her now. He was a good man, but he could change his mind easily. Then she laughed a little. But I remember how he used to get tired of people. Even me. I'd send him to visit an old talkative lady just to give him a break. He'd come back and call me his child wife. He'd never want that girl forever. Her hair dye would fade one day. Later, Mrs. Morris opened a small shop. She worked hard and felt better. People thought she was doing well now. But one day, she saw the blonde lady from the photo walk into her shop, real and smiling. Morris's widow fainted from the shock. "Well, let me tell you," the blonde woman panted. "What a scene! I had just walked in when Mrs. Morris fainted, falling right into her basket of eggs. I rushed over the counter so fast I broke my corset, but she's welcome to it. I gave her my smelling salts, and finally she woke up, all shaky. I tried to act normal so she wouldn't feel bad. I said, I just came to borrow your angel cake recipe, or maybe you could bake one for me. But then, boom, she fainted again and smashed every egg. A man had already gone for the doctor, and soon 3 doctors arrived. As they were introducing themselves, the blonde tried to help. When Mrs. Morris opened her eyes again, she said, "Doctors, would you believe it? They want me to bake angel cake for them." Then she fainted again. The blonde played with her hair as she talked. "And they say she's not crazy? Poor Morris really did die in that hotel fire? Well, I heard something about it, but I thought maybe it was just the chimney. I was busy getting engaged to the night clerk at a hotel in Pineville then, didn't get much mail. No, I didn't marry that clerk. I married the head steward, same job as Morris. He's a good man. I chose this purple ring because he's a widower. He didn't come with me this time. He thought it was too soon to walk around with another before the year was up. I didn't wait. I was afraid he'd say we couldn't afford the trip. You know how men are." Then she added, "But if poor Mrs. Morris doesn't get better, there's a nice asylum near Pineville. I'd even visit her. They say it's fun there. People can paint each other and play around. One man painted himself like a barber pole, and they scrub the paint off on Fridays. Small towns need excitement." Later, when Mrs. Morris fully recovered, she surprised everyone. Instead of being upset, she said she now depended on Morris for advice in her business. "He stands in the hotel door, between this world and the next," she said. "He can see both sides and helps me get ahead of problems." She smiled peacefully and said, "I've never felt so truly married as I do now as a widow." There was a time when Mrs. Morris wished the picture of Morris was life-sized. She thought it would feel more real. But then she remembered her little house couldn't fit such a big photo, and the most important thing was having him at home with her. As time passed, Mrs. Morris looked peaceful but became very pale and quiet. The doctors said she was thinking too much and eating too little. He told her to put iron nails in her water to help. But maybe nature was just gently letting her go. She was only 37 and seemed healthy. But one night, she simply slipped away, quietly and without pain. That night, Friend sat by her bed. She looked at Morris's picture and said softly, "When I go, the first thing I'll do is go find Morris. And I want people to know the house will be empty once I'm gone. If any woman thinks she's going to use those windows to flirt, she'll be disappointed. The woman I once suspected wasn't really guilty. I was wrong. That photo is just a photo. People know the story now. I thought of giving it to her as a gift, but I just can't. Maybe she'd feel strange having it." Then she added, "Maybe I should give it to her anyway, to thank her for leaving that hotel and to say sorry for my bad thoughts. There are some debts, but I've got eggs and things that will cover them. The hen in the shop window can go now." It was a good sign, but it might have embarrassed her. She became weaker, but whispered one last wish. "Raffle the picture for $1 a chance, and use the money for my funeral. Bury me in the grave with Morris from the hotel fire. What's left after that, give to her. If she doesn't want it, let all the widows in town draw for it. But I think she'll come. Most women will if it's free." Suddenly, she looked at the picture and smiled. "Look! He's waving something wings. 2 pairs. Mine are smaller. Just like always, I won't be able to keep up. But I've been so happy. Yes, Morris, I'm coming." And with that, she passed away peacefully before dawn. Later, the women in the room looked at the photo. One said, "It already looks different, like a house for rent." Others agreed, but most said they didn't want it in their homes. Only 2 single women said they would take it for the excitement or just for something new. "Mrs. Morris had a kind heart," one said, "and she found happiness even with very little."